Chairman Barnard and Commissioners. My name is Rachel Linnebrecke with Planning and Development Services. I will be presenting on item number 3, the CA50 Shelter Valley Wireless Telecommunication Facility Major Use Permit. The department is before you today recommending approval of this project. This site, outlined in yellow, is within the Desert Community Plan area and is located 2.5 miles south of State Route 78 at the corner of Great Southern Overland Stage Route and Shooting Iron Trail, both public roads. The surrounding land uses to the north, east, and west are primarily single-family residential uses, and to the south are civil uses, including the Shelter Valley Citizens Corporation Assembly Hall and the Shelter Valley Volunteer Fire Department. The facility is proposed to serve motorists and residents along Great Southern Overland Stage Route up to State Route 78 and the surrounding area. The subject property, owned by the Shelter Valley Citizens Corporation, is a vacant 1.1 acre site with access from Shooting Iron Trail. The proposed wireless telecommunication facility, consisting of an 80-foot tall faux water tank, a 9-foot tall concrete masonry unit block wall enclosure, shown here by the red star, will be located approximately 300 feet north of the nearest residence. In 2010, a major use permit was submitted by Mobilite LLC for the construction, operation, and maintenance of a wireless telecommunication facility on the subject parcel. The project consisted of a multi-carrier 45-foot tall faux water tank with antennas mounted within the tank, 2 equipment buildings, 1 backup generator, and a 9-foot tall concrete masonry unit block wall equipment enclosure. On November 4, 2011, the Planning Commission reviewed and approved the proposed project by a vote of 6-0, with 1 commissioner absent. The project was then appealed to the Board of Supervisors due to concerns regarding potential impacts on community character, wildlife, and property values. The concerns were analyzed and a response to the appeal was presented to the Board of Supervisors on January 25, 2012. The board denied the appeal and approved the project. The approved 45-foot tall faux water tank was never constructed and the permit has since expired. The current applicant, IntelliSites, requests a major use permit to construct, operate, and maintain a wireless telecommunication facility consisting of an 80-foot tall faux water tank with up to 24 panel antennas mounted on the inside and 1 microwave dish and 4 GPS antennas mounted on the outside. In addition, a 6-foot very high frequency antenna is proposed to top the faux water tank for use by CAL FIRE's Emergency Services Network. The facility is proposed to house up to 3 carriers, 2 within the faux water tank and 1 mounted to the legs of the tower and screened behind a shroud. The 3rd carrier will be required to process a modification prior to the installation of their antennas on the legs of the faux water tank. The applicant has secured AT&T Mobility as one of the carriers and is working to secure the other 2. The equipment associated with the proposed facility, including cables, batteries, electrical panels, and a standby generator, will be located within a 60-foot by 60-foot area and enclosed within a 9-foot tall concrete masonry unit block wall. This photo simulation shows the view of the wireless facility when looking south from Great Southern Overland Stage Route. This photo simulation, looking southwest from Buckboard Trail, approximately 800 feet away from the site, illustrates that the line, form, and color of the facility would be largely consistent with other elements that make up the visual setting of the area. Water tanks are common features seen throughout the area because surrounding residents use well water. The applicant focused on existing raised water tanks nearby for the design of the facility. The facility's design reflects the shape and rustic color scheme of the existing water tanks and blends with the community character of the surrounding area, even though it stands higher than nearby structures and water tanks. The geographic service area maps illustrate coverage in the area with and without the proposed wireless telecommunication facility. The geographic service area maps demonstrate that the proposed facility will fill a significant coverage gap in the area and provide improved service to motorists and residents, as well as further connectivity for CAL FIRE emergency services. As demonstrated in these coverage maps, the 80-foot height is necessary to provide adequate coverage along Great Southern Overland Stage Route and to allow for adequate co-location opportunities for AT&T and 2 other carriers. The coverage maps here show that a lower height would not fulfill the intended coverage objective for the carriers and would likely result in the need for additional towers in the area. During project processing, a total of 5 public comments were received. 4 were in support of the project and 1 in opposition. In addition to the 5 public comments, a petition recommending approval of the proposed facility was received, which included a total of 20 signatures of surrounding residents. Comments in favor of the proposed facility noted the current lack of coverage in the area, the need for service for everyday use by Shelter Valley residents and motorists, the benefit of cell service in the event of an emergency, and that the cell tower had been long awaited and long requested. One public comment in opposition expressed concerns relating to health impacts, property values, impacts to viewshed, and the proximity to residents and the Shelter Valley Volunteer Fire Department helipad. The county is prohibited from regulating the placement, construction, and modification of wireless facilities based on the alleged environmental impacts of radio frequency emissions and is not required to consider property values when processing discretionary projects. As previously discussed, staff has determined that while the proposed facility is taller than most structures nearby, the design of the facility is compatible with the community character and will not have a negative impact on the surrounding viewshed. Finally, regarding the proximity concerns, the proposed facility meets all required setbacks and is approximately 300 feet from the nearest residence. The County Fire Authority and CAL FIRE did not have any concerns with the proximity to the nearby emergency helipad, and the proposed facility, along with the associated CAL FIRE antenna, will improve emergency communications within the community. The project is located within the Desert Sub-Regional Area, which does not have an adopted community plan and/or an associated community planning or sponsor group. However, the Shelter Valley Citizens Corporation, which owns the site and whose gathering space is located adjacent, held a meeting on March 6, 2020 to discuss the project with the community of Shelter Valley. This meeting resulted in a petition of 20 residents signing to recommend approval of the proposed facility. Because the project complies with the relevant codes and regulations, has been determined to be exempt from CEQA, and the required findings can be made, staff recommends the Commission approve the project as detailed in the staff report. This concludes our presentation, and staff is available for any questions.